I have mentioned before that the movement of God is a movement that is best described in the words, "Behold, I make all things new." In other words, creation. If we have a job, it is the activity of standing, for lack of better words, in constant awe of creation. It is not employment. We do not earn a living. We lack for nothing. We do not have to create in our experience things to survive. You might ask, why, when there is creation to constantly stand in awe of, why would I be taking time out from that to be with you? Well, I'll tell you something. It isn't two different things. It is awesome to be in your presence because you are part of this movement of creation that is God infinitely expressing. And so you see, I have the constant inconsistency presented to me of the awesome movement of creation that is reflected in you and the way you are currently seeing yourselves and believing yourselves to be. And it's because I can perceive the difference that I can elicit your greater clarity. I can help pull it out of you, so to speak, and encourage you and inspire you to look at things with more innocent eyes, with less confidence that you know what it all is, and so that there's a curiosity in everything you see to discover divinity there rather than just part of a physical universe. It's all the kingdom of heaven. None of it is a physical universe. So it is delightful. It is, for lack of better words, awesome to be in your presence. It's awesome to be in Osama's presence. Not the presentation he's putting forth, but him. And it is essential for you to understand that there is a difference between who he divinely is and his presentation, just as there is a difference between who you divinely are and your current presentation of yourself. And the witnessing that must be done in terms of the one you divinely are. So you are not a distraction from the glory of being the observing of the movement of God that is creation. And I want you to remember that although you see a part of the kingdom of heaven here in this corner of your universe, we'll say, I am experiencing all of creation infinitely simultaneously. So, it's a joy to be with you, with who you really are, right here, right now. And there's more joy present here for you to experience if you will just become less sure that you know what all of this is that you're seeing. and what you are. Reality, again, is what you would call radical idealism. Waking up is a matter of discovering reality right where you are, the ideal right where you are, and thus rendering it practically real, so that you're not experiencing separation from it in any way. And you have a right to expect a fuller experience of everything than you're experiencing. But as long as you look at Osama or President Bush or whoever is a distress to you, and you're sure that you know what they are and that they are worthy of your disdain or your anger or your frustration or your hate, you are blocking yourself off from seeing the more that is there, which, if you were seeing it, would have transforming effect. You might ask, well, if you can see what's true about him, why isn't that transforming to him? But you see, I am seeing who he is, and you're not. And the essential step is for you to become unlimited, to abandon the limits with which you look at each other. It's like this is your dream, and you're the ones who must take the step to wake up from it. The dream is something you are joined in with each other. It's a mutual agreement. And you have to break the mutual agreement between each other. And I can't do that for you. I have done it between myself and all of you. And because I have, I can speak with you. Because you haven't, you can't speak with each other in the fullness of the glory of what you are and in the fullness of its transforming effect. And so where the mutual agreement to nonsense is occurring is where the things must change. Ultimately, everyone will be awake but two, because it takes two joined to have a misperception. And every one of the brotherhood will be seeing everything as it is fully, and those two will still be seeing the kingdom of heaven and the awakened brotherhood as that which they need to defend themselves against. Until one of them breaks the agreement, and then both of them, whether the other one wants to or not, will wake up spontaneously. I will tell you something. My being awake is making a difference in the dream, right here, right now. But those of you who are joined, and you are joined in misperception, have to break the misperception, have to break the joining that seems to make the misperception valid or real. And all I do when I'm with you is share with you the means of doing that. And I have been a little more pointed lately. Because a threshold is being arrived at where stepping over it can happen more easily. What you would call the glory of God is what is happening right here in this room, right here on this planet. And that's what you should be constantly curious to see, regardless of what is being presented to you by others in the world. Without clearer vision yourself, you will not be able to be the teacher who looks at the potential of the child and, knowing it is there, overrides the child's confidence that he doesn't know more and illuminates more to the child. You see? That's love. And that's what is called for here. It's always been what's called for, whether you're dealing with a disease or another person who's a problem, or your own ego, or whatever. What has always been called for is the willingness to witness on behalf of your brother, or your body, or your world. You ask what it's like. Literally, the lion and the lamb do lie down together. And there is no such thing as survival of the fittest. And nothing eats anything else in order to survive. Loss of life does not secure life for others. And the innate divine intelligence and characteristics of each of what you would call the different species, whether they're centipedes or scorpions or kittens or dogs or buffalo, will become available to you as a conscious experience, and communication will occur because they are not lower on a scale of intelligence or function. So, if I may put it this way, there's a whole new realm of relationships and friendships that you have awaiting you. Where the intelligence of a flea is as interesting as the intelligence of an elephant or of human beings, if I may put it that way. So, remember what I said first. You are not a distraction to me from constantly witnessing the movement of creation and having the ongoing experience of awe regarding it, because you are the movement of creation right now, and you are awesome right now, and it is a pleasure to me to observe the awesomeness of you and share with you whatever it takes to open you up to it, so that you might actually practice curiosity to see it and experience it and feel it yourselves. You see? And like I said at the last gathering, the way I'm treating you is the way you need to treat your brothers. This needs to be extended to each other. And if your brother doesn't accept it, just like the 7-year-old who says, "This is too hard. I can't do it." Well, you don't listen to him. You can say, "I understand how you feel," but hey, let's look at it this way. And you sidestep his assurance that he can't do it and find a way to express it. He says, "Oh, I get it." You see? That's witnessing for the best in your brother. It's witnessing for that which your brother doesn't yet comprehend, and persisting in the pleasure of disclosing the best in him to him, even when he doesn't think it's there, even when he thinks he doesn't want to know about it, even when his ego is telling him that it's too hard. You see? And as you make it easier for them by witnessing to the best in them, it becomes easier for you. The blessing you give, you receive. I'll tell you something, whether you've thought about it or not. It isn't all that awesome to you for me to love you the way I'm describing. It's not all that awesome for you to believe that all of those who are awake love you in this way. What is awesome is for each of you to love each other that way. That is what is awesome to you. You have no idea the impact that a brother who's speaking the same language of illusion, we'll say, a brother who is in the same dream that you are, expressing this kind of love to you, that is awesome, because it weakens the dream, and it's the last thing you would expect. It's unreasonable because it's not part of the structure of your mutual agreement regarding your misunderstanding of reality. And so it has more transformational value. It seems to impel waking up more rapidly, to be surprised by a fellow dreamer behaving in a way that's inconsistent with the mutual agreement about the dream, and in a way that creates an experience of peace and safety that's inconsistent with the dream, but one that nevertheless can be felt as being real, which allows the one being loved this way to lower his or her defenses, which means less willfulness being expressed, and the cork gets thinner, less puffed up. You see? All of you, you could say, have a more awesome job or a more awesome opportunity for transformation in the world than I do, or than any of us who are awake do. Because we're not violating an agreement. We're being the way you expect us to be. It's when the dream, the mutual agreement of the dream is violated by love. That's what's awesome. Don't underestimate your role in this. Okay.
Just want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying about the gender. It's a quick follow-up, and also I want to make a statement. Are you saying that in the gender thing? Are you saying that if you walk, that you don't need gender because if you walk through a wall or if you walk through something, that's essentially what we call a joining? It's a sexual experience. And before you answer that, I need to make a statement. It's following up what you were just saying. I love Osama bin Laden, and I feel like it's necessary for me to go public with that, with everything you're saying here, and make something real here out of this. That's a total. That's actually my conscious experience. It's not an affirmation, and I feel like there's a need for me to say that in public. And if anyone needs to know, what that's like to feel that, and if I don't know what everyone else in the room feels, I didn't assume that anyone had any problem with him, but I love that man very much, and I'm very sincere about that, and that is my conscious experience.
Okay. You must understand that what I'm going to say is infinite in scope. So, the movement of creation is orgasmic, if you will. And what you call sexual relationship, copulation, orgasm, is so minute by comparison that it isn't something that occupies the attention of one who is awake. Intimacy is total, absolutely total, constantly. It doesn't have to be sought out. It isn't special. It's part of the full spectrum of the awesomeness of the experience of the movement of God that is inseparable from you when you are awake. Does that answer your question? Good. Hands. The lady in red.
I wanted to know if I'm trying to hear guidance, and so I'm trying to remember to always ask, what is the right way to see this, or what is, use the right, how can I see this differently? And I just try to remember constantly to ask. I don't always remember, but when I do, what am I hearing? Is that just me making that up, or am I hearing?
You are hearing. Yes. You are not making it up. Have faith in it.
Okay.
Have faith in the experience.
So my parking fairy has kind of moved on a little bit, and she's now talking to me.
It's not the parking fairy speaking to you, but yes, it is a fuller experience of guidance.
Is there anything I should do to develop that further, or I can't think of anything?
Just log more hours doing it. That's it.
Okay.
Do it, do it, do it. And as you do it, and the experience becomes more familiar, it will become clearer to you that it's not you. But you must invest some trust in the beginning.
Okay, I'm not likely going to think, like put my own thoughts in it and then trust that that's what I'm worried about, is I'm going to trust what I think I heard as being not from me, and then I'm going to find out that was...
From time to time, you're likely to bias what you're hearing, but your guide is not incapable of correcting you or bringing it to your attention. And if you are genuinely interested in knowing the truth, then whenever you have the slightest inkling that you may have been biasing the answer that you're hearing, you will double check. Go back to your guide. Was I hearing this correctly? Sometimes to you, a true answer from your guide will seem outrageous to you. And you will not think it was you saying it, and you will still come back and say, did I understand you correctly? You said to do such and such? I can't do that until you give me more explanation. That is too outrageous. And you go back and you double check and you triple check and you keep asking until the outrageousness has been explained away and you are in your comfort zone before you take the action. Never just do it blindly. You're not there to turn your life over, turn the responsibility for your life over to your guide, and your guide won't let you. And if you insist, your guide will find a most practical way to get you to stop without telling you to stop. Your guide will cause your own already existing integrity to step up to the plate and say, I can't do this. Or I don't believe this. I can't embrace this. And then, as I did with Paul on one occasion, I said, good. Now we can be real with each other. Because your relationship with your guide is not one in which you are to abandon your integrity, because you are divine and you're here to discover it and experience it more fully. And we will not let you avoid that clarity by leaning on us. You can't ride into the kingdom of heaven on anyone else's back or shoulders. You have to do it on your own 2 feet, and you won't do it until you feel your worthiness to do it. And so that means that the job you're engaged in is one of recognizing and embracing and making commitment to your worthiness right while the ego is telling you that you're liable to fuck things up. Paul really doesn't like that word. You know what? Awakened people, awakened beings are not prissy. And if nothing else, I'm, by virtue of the language I'm using, letting you know that you don't have to be proper with us. You can be real. You can express yourself genuinely